passed through the House. Congressman Luis Gutierrez, Democrat of Illinois, is a member of the House Financial Services Committee and joins me now. Sir, it's nice to have you on. I want to get to the hard facts when it boils down to the American consumer. What is it going to mean if the federal government fails to raise the debt ceiling and defaults on our national debt?
Well, first of all, you know, there's at least half of the government we won't be able to provide money for. We're going to have to make decisions on after Tuesday about who's going to get some money, who's going to get paid, health care, Social Security. There's that part. On the other hand, I mean, it's like saying on Tuesday, guess what? I don't want to pay the mortgage on my house. And then on Wednesday, going back to the same bank and saying, would you lend me money for a car or for something else? It's not going to happen because, number one, it's been destructive to our credit rating and our credibility. And, you know, what's astonishing is that we have seen this happen in Greece. We've seen this happen in Ireland and Portugal. But here it's kind of contrived because people still want to buy American debt and lend us money that we need. And at the same time, if the economy crashes, if people are unemployed, if interest rates go up, won't there be fewer revenues coming in so that we can settle what we should settle, which is the longstanding debt?
Sir, what do you think of the balanced budget amendment that was added to the Boehner bill?
Well, I think it's a little fantasy. Last time I checked, it takes 2/3. Look, you're not going to get 2/3 of the House, and you're not going to get 2/3 of the Senate to vote. There's just political opposition. So, you know, they can't even get 2/3 of. If every Republican voted for it, you wouldn't get 2/3 in the House, and you're not going to get it. And then, plus, what are we going to do? Race to 3/5 of the states to get it approved? Look, let's face it. It's good politics maybe for them back at home, but it's really going to be poor public policy. And I hope, because there's a sense of, how would I say it? It's almost giddiness from some of the new Tea Party members, as though they don't understand that playing with fire, you can get burned, and even if it's just about you, others can also get hurt.
Congressman, while we have you here, I need to talk about your arrest that happened this week in front of the White House. You were there for a pro-immigration rally. This is not the first time you've been arrested, so what kind of statement are you trying or hoping to make here as a lawmaker when you are arrested?
Right. Well, here's my point. There's an immorality to this public policy. The President of the United States has immense discretionary powers. And when I see, on the one hand, ordering a young soldier to go to Afghanistan to fight for our country, and the next day that same family receives an order of deportation for the wife, there's something fundamentally morally wrong with our broken immigration system. So I was there to say, Mr. President, use your discretionary power against those immigrants that aren't criminals, against those criminals against those immigrants in this country that you know need your help. Where you see a marriage and there's an American citizen, help them out. When you see young students who came here when they were 3, 4, 5 years old, and now they're 18, 19, and they're going to school and they're doing well, say you're going to defer action. So what we want them to do is have a balanced approach. 1 million deportation. This is a president that made a commitment to the immigrant community and to this nation that he was going to allow people to come out of the shadows, that it was wrong to rip a child from a mother's arms. That's what he said as he received the Democratic nomination in Denver. He should keep his word.
Do you feel the same for binational couples, those that are in same-sex marriages where they're facing deportation?
Yes. I hope next week we're going to have, when I went to Denver on my family tour, we had a wonderful binational. I went to the steps in San Francisco, had a wonderful binational couple. I think that it's important that we don't have this contradiction, because I think it's marvelous and wonderful to see New York and Washington, D.C., but you know what? What if you go and one part of the American government says, we respect that bond and that love that you have, and we're going to confer marriage, to strengthen and cement that bond, marriage. But then you can't get them a visa, you can't get them a green card so they can stay here in this country. I think they should have, I think if we're going to do it at the state level, we need to make sure. But you want to know something? The Congress isn't going to approve that law. But guess who can make it on a case-by-case decision? The President of the United States. We want him to make those kinds of decisions. I'm happy you brought it up.
Congressman Gutierrez, we're going to let you get back to work. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, much more on the debt showdown.